In the video about number bonds to 10, we looked at how this resource used in schools called Numicon can show how different pairs of numbers slot together to make 10. It's really helpful for number bonds to 20 because it also gives children the idea of how the number bonds to 10 link directly with the number bonds to 20 because they look a bit like this. So children see that where a 6 and a 4 makes a 10, it means that with an extra 10, 16 and 4, you get 20. And that's really useful. Like we said before, there's a good chance you won't have Numicon at home, but you can do a similar thing using colouring, which I'll show you. By colouring grids like this, children will get the idea that the numbers when they're bonds to 20 are similar to the ones that are bonds to 10. I've just drawn these out myself. You might want to print them out if you have a printer. Nothing wrong with just drawing them. You're going to need plenty though, so you'll need more than I've got. Get the children to colour pairs. So in order is great. They might start with 1 and 19, but they don't have to. They might go for 3 blues and then they'd be counting how many more it took to get all of the rest coloured in green. And they would then work out that, oh, I've got 3 and 7, which makes 10, but 3 and 17 makes 20. And so you get that idea of how the bonds to 10 link to the bonds to 20, which makes it much quicker and easier for the children to get the hang of. Using a piece of string or thread with some beads on, or in my case I've just cut up some paper straws, you can create the sort of abacus effect. So I've got 20, and what the children can do with it is then manipulate it to see what groups they get. So if you've got 4 on that side, they could count 16 on that side, and they could do that with as many combinations as possible. Children love matching card games, so I use them a lot. You can use them for number bonds to 20 by having all the numbers 1 to 20 written on flashcards that you just make yourself. And the game is that children get to turn over 2 cards at a time, and if they match to make 20, they get to keep that pair. If you want to make it a bit more practical, you could take your pairs and hide half of them around the room and keep the other half back, making sure that the ones that you've kept match with the ones in the room. So for example, you might have 2 and 18 would be hidden somewhere in the room. You then give the children who are playing different cards from the pile, and they have to race to find their matching one around the room. A nice practical one that they're sure to really enjoy. If you have chalk, a fun game you can play outside is by writing the numbers 1 to 20 on paving slabs or bricks in any order, and getting children to play a splat game. So the game works by one person calls out a number and the other person has to splat the pair that would be the bond to 20. So for example, if someone shouted out 18, then the players would have to be the first to splat 2, and whoever splats it first is the winner. As with bonds to 10, with all of the games I've showed, try to get children saying the sentences as they go, 13 add 7 equals 20, and writing them down where possible. Have a go, explore, and you'll find that most of the games that you can do for number bonds to 20 work for 10 and vice versa.